What if the pain you're hiding is the very key to your strength? Why do some people seem to take pleasure in your suffering? And how do you stop giving them that power? What if you could transform every wound into wisdom and every fear into unshakable peace? How do you deal with pain and emotional hurt? Do you reveal it openly, conceal it behind a smile, or strive to transform it into something greater? Revealing our pain might sound like the path to healing, but in truth it often invites more harm than help. That's a brutal reality of life. There are those, yes, even people close to us, who take a twisted satisfaction in witnessing others suffer. Their envy, their silent delight in your struggle. It's unsettling, but real. It's a toxic blend of sadism and jealousy that lurks not just in strangers, but in colleagues, friends, even family. And it's this invisible threat that can silently suffocate our growth. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Within you lies something extraordinary, a quiet force, a hidden power waiting to be awakened. It is the art of turning pain into power, of transforming your deepest vulnerabilities into your strongest virtues. In this video, we'll uncover 18 profound Stoic principles from the timeless teachings of Epictetus, principles that have not only survived centuries but are more relevant today than ever before. But this isn't just a lecture, it's an invitation to embark on an introspective journey of self-mastery and personal freedom. So take these next few minutes seriously. Set aside the noise of daily life. This could be the moment that shifts the way you face challenges forever. Let's begin. Principle 1. Listen twice as much as you speak. Have you ever noticed the subtle wisdom in our design? 2 ears, but only 1 mouth? It's not a coincidence. It's a quiet nudge from nature itself, urging us to listen more and speak less. Epictetus reminded us of this simple truth. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening isn't just a courtesy, it's a superpower. In a world full of noise, the ability to listen deeply becomes a rare and powerful gift. It's not about staying silent. It's about choosing silence at the right time, making space for the stories, emotions, and truths of others. When we choose to truly listen, we unlock new perspectives. We learn lessons we never would have imagined. We build bridges where walls once stood. So next time you're about to speak, ask yourself, will these words add value, or am I just filling the silence? Sometimes the most profound lessons in life come not from what we say, but from what we allow ourselves to hear. Principle 2. Don't let the opinions of others control your life. Have you ever felt like a puppet, your emotions tugged by the strings of others' words or glances? A careless remark, a judgmental look, and suddenly your whole day is ruined. Epictetus, with piercing clarity, warns us of this trap. Life is a stage, yes, but we don't have to be at the mercy of every critic in the audience. Why let someone else's negativity become the master key to your emotional state? It hurts, yes. Words can burn, attitudes can bruise, but when we let that pain fester, when we allow it to define our mood, our confidence, our joy, we surrender our power. You're essentially saying, here, take control of my peace. But you don't have to. Take the key back. Not with anger, not with spite, but with quiet resolve. Understand this. Your joy, your calm, your inner strength, they belong to you, no one else. It won't be easy, but ask yourself, isn't the fight for your emotional independence worth it? Isn't it time to cut those strings and move to your own rhythm? Principle 3. Be ready to accept the worst. Life is unpredictable. That's not new. But the weight of uncertainty, that's what wears us down. We fear losing our jobs. We worry about our children's futures. We grieve over broken marriages or the looming shadow of financial ruin. And each day, these fears evolve, feeding a never-ending loop of anxiety. But Epictetus offers a radical shift in perspective. Accept the worst. Imagine it's already happened. It's terrifying, yes. But it's also freeing, because once you face your deepest fear head-on, it begins to lose its power over you. When you stop running from the possibility of pain and instead walk directly into it, you find that your spirit isn't crushed, but refined. Not shackled, but sharpened. That's the Stoic path, not to ignore fear, but to meet it and transcend it. Now that we've laid this powerful foundation, let's keep going. Coming up next, the principles that will help you stay calm in chaos and discover the strength hidden in stillness. Earlier, we explored the idea that embracing the worst can set us free. Now, let's dig deeper. What if this very surrender isn't weakness, but wisdom? Could embracing the worst truly be the gateway to inner peace? Epictetus certainly believed so. He didn't encourage passive resignation, but rather an active, courageous faith in your own resilience. The kind of belief that says, no matter how fierce the storm, I will remain standing. He taught that by facing life's chaos head-on, not shrinking away but walking straight into the wind, we awaken a quiet strength within us, one that doesn't just endure, but transforms. Principle 4. Don't be afraid of failing. It's the only way to progress. Imagine a world where your failures aren't setbacks, they're steps. Where every fall isn't a sign to stop, but a lesson to evolve. Deeper, truer, stronger. Epictetus, the Stoic sage, didn't shy away from failure. In fact, he embraced it. He even accepted the label of a fool. Why? Because only when you're unafraid to fall, unashamed to stumble, do you begin to truly grow. Real mastery isn't a stroke of luck. It's not a sudden spark of genius. It's a relentless, unglamorous journey, a path paved with missteps, doubts, frustration, where giving up whispers in your ear daily. But it's here, in this furnace, that resilience is born. That passion takes root. That transformation begins. As Epictetus put it, it's not the effortless victory that molds us, but the hard-fought battle. The struggle sharpens, refines, and reveals who we're meant to be. So ask yourself, are you willing to fail gloriously, to be misunderstood, mocked, even seen as foolish, only to rise, not just smarter, but more authentic? Because that is where true excellence lives, in the messy, beautiful process of becoming. Principle 5. Keep it simple. Simplicity. It's not about rejecting wealth or comfort. It's about clarity. It's about choosing what genuinely brings peace over what constantly demands your energy. Imagine yourself in a life filled with luxury, everything you desire just a tap away. But even in that comfort, one question lingers. Does all this truly serve you, or are you now its servant? Epictetus pointed out a striking truth. Wealth isn't what you hold, it's how you think. True freedom begins when you choose simplicity. When you break free from the invisible chains of bills, loans, and the ticking debt clock. This isn't just financial liberation, it's emotional, mental, and even spiritual. It's finding joy in small moments. It's reconnecting with the essence of life, not through things, but through meaning, through presence, through purpose. Epictetus reminds us, yes, pursue wealth if you must, but let it serve your peace, not consume it. Principle 6. Practice humility in your life. Humility. It's not loud, but it's powerful. Picture yourself on a journey, not one paved with praise and pride, but one that leads you away from the noise of ego and into a space of quiet awareness. You begin to realize something profound. You don't know as much as you thought you did, and that's not a defeat. It's a revelation. It's the moment your eyes open again like a child's, where every breeze, every falling leaf, every conversation becomes a new discovery. Curiosity returns, wonder returns, Epictetus calls us to this path, not to impress others with what we know, but to courageously admit what we don't. And in that humility, learning truly begins. Yes, you might feel vulnerable, a little exposed, but within that, vulnerability lies the key to deeper wisdom. We stop performing and start absorbing. Principle 7. Be aware of the dangers of fortune. Fortune is seductive, but beware. Its light casts long shadows. When wealth arrives, it doesn't come alone. It brings masks. It draws people who pretend to care. It lures false friends and invites subtle changes in our values, our identity, our inner compass. Epictetus warns us, the danger is not in the money itself, but in how it changes us. The very thing we chase might be the very thing that pulls us away from who we are. You don't need to renounce fortune, but you must see it clearly. Handle it like fire. Useful, yes, but capable of destruction if left unchecked. As we continue this journey, the next principle takes us even deeper. We'll explore how stillness, true, unshakable stillness, can become your greatest strength in a chaotic world. As we just explored, fortune can tempt us away from who we are. But the real question is, when life tests us, will we bend to its illusions or rise rooted in what truly defines us? Sometimes adversity reveals a version of ourselves we don't quite recognize. It may be a version we don't admire, a version shaped by fear, ego, or unchecked ambition. And this is the dangerous turning point, the place where moral decay quietly begins. It doesn't come loudly, it whispers. It chips away at our character in silence. Epictetus, the great Stoic mind, warned us about these subtle dangers. His teachings, passed down through centuries, are a reminder. True wealth is never in your possessions. It's in the strength of your soul. So when you're caught in life's storms, ask yourself, will you let external fortune reshape your values? Or will you stand anchored in principles that reflect your truest self? The answer isn't out there. It's within you. Always has been. Principle 8. Do not cling to a single. Hope Epictetus knew that life is anything but predictable. That's why he warned against holding on too tightly to a single hope or dream. Why anchor your entire identity to just one outcome, when life has so many paths, so many possibilities? The Stoics weren't afraid of dreaming, but they understood this truth. When you spread your aspirations across a broader spectrum, you create room for resilience. If one dream fades, another rises to meet the moment. Think about it. Isn't that a wiser way to live? This isn't about giving up. It's about evolving, about knowing that your value doesn't vanish when one plan falls apart. You're more than any one goal. You're a mosaic of potential, of strength, of adaptable purpose. This mindset transforms weakness into wisdom. It turns your so-called Achilles heels into sources of endurance and growth. Principle 9. Always remember your mortality. We live as if we have endless time. But the truth? Death walks beside us every day. Epictetus faced this reality with clarity, not fear. He didn't ask us to run from death, but to walk beside it, to acknowledge it, to let it sharpen our awareness and shape our choices. In the chaos of everyday life, it's easy to forget how temporary we are. We get caught chasing fleeting things, status, approval, possessions, none of which will follow us when our time here ends. So why spend our precious days pursuing what doesn't last? Our real wealth lies elsewhere, in the moments we truly live, in the love we share, the wisdom we gather, and the courage we build from our pain. If you've stayed with us this far, it means something inside you is stirring. You're ready to live with intention, ready to grow. So drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe, because this journey is just getting deeper. Principle 10. a content spirit is true. Wealth, have you ever felt consumed by the desire for what you don't? Yet while the blessings you do have sit gathering dust in the background? Epictetus invites us to pause, to breathe, to flip the script. He reminds us that true wealth is not found in accumulation, but in contentment. Not in craving more, but in appreciating what already is. Think about it. How often do you truly savor your small wins? The peaceful morning, the loyal friend, the strength you showed last week. We get so lost chasing the next thing, we forget that joy is already here, waiting for us to notice. The Stoic journey isn't about suppressing desire. It's about mastering it. It's realizing that fulfillment doesn't live in the future. It breathes in the present. Principle 11. Guilt is a trap. Have you ever felt guilt like a heavy shadow, trailing you, whispering, weighing down every step? It's a game we all play. We blame others. We blame ourselves. And oddly enough, it feels safer that way. Because blaming delays responsibility. But guilt, when left unchecked, becomes a trap. It offers the illusion of moral high ground, but in reality, it paralyzes growth. Epictetus challenges us to choose differently. What if, instead of circling endlessly in guilt, we stopped, faced our actions, and took full ownership? Without excuses, without self-punishment, just a clear eye and a courageous heart. It's not easy. Responsibility rarely is. But this is where transformation truly begins. And now, with guilt behind us and clarity ahead, it's time to explore one of the most powerful Stoic tools of all, the art of mastering your mind before it masters you. Let's continue. We just explored how guilt, if left unchecked, can imprison us. But once we break free from its grip, a new challenge arises. How do we choose the people, the reactions, and the responsibilities that shape our lives? The wisdom of Epictetus reminds us, guilt is a trap. It's a mental plague that feeds on regret and holds us hostage to the past. But the Stoic way is not about wallowing in blame. It's about moving forward with purpose. It's not about finding fault. It's about finding solutions. Growth doesn't come from punishing ourselves. It comes from understanding, adjusting, and evolving. Principle 12. Make friends with winners. You've felt it before, being stuck in a room with someone who radiates negativity. Their presence alone feels heavy, like they carry a personal storm cloud that darkens everything around them. No matter how good your day is, somehow they manage to drain the energy out of it. And then there are the others, the rare ones. The people who walk in and light up the space. They don't just make you smile, they lift you. They challenge you. They remind you of your best self, even on your worst days. Being around them feels like breathing fresh air after a long time. Underwater. So here's the truth. The people you surround yourself with are not just part of your life. They shape your life. They influence how you think, how you feel, how you dream. Why settle for those who drag you down when you could walk alongside those who help you rise? Choose the ones who expand your vision, who believe in your potential, who turn your doubts into drive. Because when you walk with stars, you start to shine too. Principle 13. Your reactions determine your future. Life doesn't always ask for permission before it hits you with the unexpected. But here's what Epictetus knew well. It's not the event that defines you. It's your response. Lost the job? Heartbroken? Betrayed? You can collapse. Or you can construct. You can allow the moment to bury you, or you can let it build you. Yes, it's tempting to blame circumstances, to play the victim. But in truth, every painful moment is a mirror, showing you what you still need to strengthen. These moments, as brutal as they seem, are your forge. It's where your weaknesses are melted down and reshaped into something stronger. So ask yourself, will this setback destroy me? or become the very fuel that propels me forward. Because your story isn't about what happens. It's about how you rewrite the story with every twist, every fall, every rise. Principle 14. Fulfill your duty. A word that often feels heavy, like a burden. But Epictetus saw it differently. Fulfilling your duty isn't about ticking boxes or blindly following what others expect. It's about confronting your fears and standing firm in the face of what challenges you most. Why do we run from responsibility? Often, it's not because it's too hard, but because it demands we face the parts of ourselves we're still afraid of. But real strength isn't found in comfort. It's found in showing up, again and again. It's about protecting what matters, fighting for what's right, and sometimes walking away when everything inside you wants to stay. In that journey, you will feel broken. You will taste both defeat and triumph. But above all, you will meet your true self, the one that doesn't crumble, but rises stronger each time. Principle 15. Ignore those who hate you. Hate is poison, and sometimes it's thrown at us with surprising force. But here's the key. You don't have to drink it. When someone hurls their hatred at you, it's rarely about you. It's a reflection of their own chaos, their own wounds. Let them carry it. Don't absorb it. Don't return it. Mastering this takes more than just self-control. It takes deep self-respect. The kind that lets you walk away with your head held high. This isn't about pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about refusing to let that pain control your path. So in the grand tapestry of life, full of light and shadow, decide how you will weave it all together. Principle 16. Friendship is above wealth. Think back to a time when life knocked you flat, and someone stood by you, not with answers, but with presence. That's friendship. Not flashy, not transactional, but true. You might lose your job. You might lose your home. But a real friend? That kind of bond doesn't break. Epictetus valued friendships above riches, and rightly so. Because when your strength crumbles, when your spirit buckles, a good friend becomes your anchor. They remind you of who you are when you've forgotten. They hold you up when the world is pulling you down. Gold can't do that. Status won't do that. But a true friend will, again and again. Now that we've explored the power of human connection and emotional resilience, it's time to look inward again. Next, we uncover how controlling your thoughts can shape not only your mood, but your entire destiny. Let's keep going. After exploring the irreplaceable value of true friendship, we come to a deeper realization: our vulnerabilities, when shared and seen with compassion, reveal our most authentic selves. Vulnerabilities are not weaknesses. They're not shameful cracks to hide or erase. They are shared human experiences, universal, real, and often the bridges that connect us more deeply to others. It's in those quiet, unguarded moments when we feel raw, exposed, unsure, that we truly understand the value of a friend. Not someone who shields us from the world, but someone who holds up a mirror. A mirror that doesn't distort our flaws, but reflects them honestly, and still chooses to stand by us. This kind of bond goes beyond words. It reaches deeper than the deepest ocean. It teaches us that real wealth isn't measured by our possessions, but by the hearts we touch and the souls that touch ours in return. Principle 17. Always look for the good in things. Sometimes life doesn't just rain. It pours. You lose the job. The relationship ends. The dream seems to crumble. In those moments, it's tempting to see only the darkness. But what if that very moment is your turning point? What if losing that job is the nudge you needed to finally pursue the dream you've been shelving for years? This is what Stoicism teaches us: not to deny our pain, but to find purpose within it. To believe that every setback, carries a hidden seed of transformation. Resilience isn't the absence of hardship. It's the courage to face hardship and still choose to hope. So the next time life knocks you flat, pause and ask, what opportunity is hidden inside this chaos? Because every fall contains a chance to rise higher than before. Principle 18. Let go of what you can't control. You may love someone with all your heart, but you can't force them to love you back. You may give everything to a goal, but you can't always control the outcome. You may care deeply for the world, but you can't fix every problem. So how do you cope with the frustration, the heartbreak, the powerlessness? Epictetus offers a life-changing answer. Focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. It sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest and most freeing practices you'll ever learn. You can control your actions, your words, your intentions, your responses, but you can't control how others react or how fate unfolds. And that's okay, because the key to peace, the key to strength, lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering your own mind and heart. This is the final step in the Stoic path, not just concealing your vulnerabilities, but transforming them into unshakable strength. If you found value in these Stoic principles, if even one of them stirred something within you, don't let it end here. Subscribe for more empowering content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an insight. And let us know in the comments, which principle spoke to you the most? 2 more powerful videos are on your screen right now, ready to take you deeper into the wisdom that can reshape your life. Thanks for watching. And remember, stay grounded, stay focused, stay stoic.